is a qualitative study of elderly perceptions and attitudes towards assistive robots in Thailand. It's conducted by Serenity Lee from King Mongkut's International Demonstration School, and I will be the one presenting this research today. Population aging has emerged as one of the most significant demographic transitions of the 21st century, and Thailand is a prime example of a country in which the demographic trends are quickly changing, and that is expected to reshape healthcare systems, social services, and long-term care needs in the coming decades. If we look at this population pyramid here, we can see that it takes the shape of an urn, the widest being around 50 and up, and the most narrow being at the base. This reflects to a growing and healthy elderly population, but a declining birth rate. What happens then is that many older individuals are living or spending an abundance of time alone due to their relatives or children being away at work or their other duties, or a big thing here is that a lot of the elderly people don't have children to begin with. In result, there is a growing need for innovative solutions that promote independent living and increase quality of life. Basically, any innovations that are designed with the purpose to help elder people live comfortably without constant surveillance from other people. Examples are all over the world. In Thailand, there is Binsaw, the home AI assistant, and in Japan, there are robots like the Pero, which is like a cute seal-like robot. Previous studies have suggested that assistive robots reduce caregiver burden, improve safety, and support aging in place. Other researchers have examined older adults' perceptions and attitudes towards assistive robots. These researches have been conducted in many countries such as Japan, Finland, and France. But the research gap here is that no studies have been conducted in Thailand, a country that is also welcoming its aging society, and no studies are taking into account the cultural norms and traditions that could form and shape the context of the elderly people in that country. So, this qualitative study aims to fill that research gap, examine the perceived benefits, concerns, and expectations regarding the use of assistive robots, while investigating the influence of age and cultural factors on their acceptance in the context of Bangkok, Thailand. This is important because we are studying the target group of our potential future innovations. This research could provide a framework for what it is that is needed to create the assistive robot that fits the people's needs the most. This study employed a qualitative descriptive design to explore perceptions and emotional responses regarding the potential use of robot companions in elderly care of Thai older adults. We conducted a face-to-face, semi-structured, in-depth interviews conducted at Serenity Lee Village, Bangkok in Thailand, between the years of 2025 and 2026. There were 15 participants aged 63 to 80 years of both genders and were recruited using purposive sampling strategy to be able to get a range of experiences and perceptions. Following the visual presentation that I provided, which basically was there to give them an idea of what a robot or an assistive robot is, the interviews were conducted using an interview guide developed from the study objectives and a review of relevant literature. We used thematic analysis to analyze our data. This study focused on exploring the participants' views on the potential role of assistive robots in supporting the well-being, independence, and social connectedness of older adults, while also examining societal considerations associated with their future adoption. We split it up into 3 domains. The first domain, pragmatic acceptance and perceived usefulness. Essentially, this is what the elderly people found appealing in assistive robots. Looking from the excerpts and looking at the first theme, independent living and aging in place, we have concluded that the elderly people do believe that these robots can support elderly people living more independently and living safely at home. It also assists with daily tasks, medication reminders, and health monitoring while reducing reliance on nursing homes. And what's really a big thing here is that these elderly people do not want to be sent to nursing homes as they believe it is a confirmation that their families have abandoned them. They believe that these robots can help prevent that last resort. The second theme, mitigating loneliness through artificial and pet-like companionship. From the excerpt, as well as various interviewees, the elderly people have concluded that these robots can provide social and emotional companionship. They are pet-like robots, which is like the Para robot right here, offers an alternative to real pets that requires less physical, financial, and maintenance responsibility, which is perfect for their age as they're likely not as fit to care for a real living being. The third theme, perceived safety and emotional comfort in non-human care environments. In the context of Thailand, there were many news coming out of elderly people being sent to nursing homes that cost like 30,000 baht a month and getting abused or getting verbally abused in those nursing homes by the staff and personnel. What happens then is that the elderly people actually perceive an environment that is safer within these elder assistive robots rather than human caregivers that are unfamiliar, as they believe these robots are without consciousness and intention. This reduces concerns about judgment, conflict, theft, or mistreatment, and can allow the elderly people to communicate more freely and more comfortably. The second domain concerns boundaries and anticipated dislike. This basically highlights where the elderly draw the line for the designing of the AR and what they would dislike. The first theme, almost always, the elderly people prefer humans over robots in their healthcare preferences. Humans are perceived to them as more empathetic and understanding, and essentially knowing our history and status is a big thing in Thai culture. So they believe only a human can be able to respect us in the way that we want to be treated. This is some of the things that the interviewees have said. The second theme, which is related, guarded trust and conditional acceptance. Overall, there is a conditional acceptance for these assistive robots. In the realm of actual healthcare, they would much rather trust the doctors and nurses than a robot, and the AR or the assistive robot will mainly be viewed as a supporting companion, but never a human replacement. It is also pertinent to note that in Thailand, there is a deep reverence for doctors and people basically working in hospitals. The third theme, safety and control challenges in unpredictable robotic behavior. There are concerns from the elderly about technical failure and loss of control, being too complicated to use and having unpredictable movements that could increase risk or fall injuries that would more likely make them less trustful or reliable of the AI robot. The fourth theme being privacy concerns and personal autonomy. If there is continuous cameras or monitoring, the elderly people believe it may invade their personal space, and there's concerns about data leaks, scams, and unauthorized access of footage from when they're just maybe sitting at home. The third domain, desired roles and hoped benefits. This is what the elderly wish for the perfect ideal robot. First of all, the first theme, religious and cultural sensitivity, as well as respectful interaction. They believe that the AR should reflect Thai culture, traditions, and values. The AR, or the robot, should use polite language and demonstrate respect for elders, as well as support religious activities such as Buddhist prayers or accompanying them to give merit to monks. They believe that a culturally appropriate behavior from the robot may improve comfort and acceptance from the elderly. The second theme, desire for control and user agencies. The elderly people, they want simple and easy things to control. So additionally, the AR should respect personal space, quiet time, and their own independence, which means if they want to close it, it must be easy to close. And if they want to open it, it must be easy to open and maneuver. The third theme, facilitating family connection. The elderly people believe that the AR should strengthen rather than replace human relationships. So, the ideal scenario would be that the AR or the robot would help elderly users communicate more easily with family and relatives and reduce the risk of increased family distance and isolation. The fourth theme about cost concerns and financial burdens, as well as ongoing maintenance, the elderly people believe that the AR should be affordable, reliable, and easy to maintain. If it's too much work to be able to use, to be able to pay for the maintenance, then they can say that at this point they would not need it. Okay. For the implications and conclusion, what we can conclude to provide a framework for future innovations from what the elderly people want in assistive robots in Thailand is that the robots must complement but not replace human care. They also believe that the robots should be culturally relevant. They should be able to adapt to the culture of Thai people, especially for the elderly people, so they can feel more comfortable and at ease, while also protecting and respecting privacy and autonomy as it can strongly influence trust. The design of the robot must be simple and predictable, as well as affordable, so it can be easily accessible for many people across Thailand. Here are my references, the key references. Thank you.